What's going on, gamers? Welcome back to another commentary video. It's been a minute since we've done one of these. We're going to try and do a bit more of a personable one this time. I'm going to try and do this whole thing in one take. So we'll see how this goes. But anyway, the last one went really well, so I decided it's time for another one. I kind of had a hard time trying to find something good enough to talk about, but I settled for something I think a lot of people, specifically my age, in our, my 20s, have been feeling lately. I'm talking about that feeling of growing up and responsibility hitting you and yearning for that feeling of just being an irresponsible little shit again. As of this video being posted, I've just turned 24. And I get further from my days as someone who can ignore responsibility now, being 24. I, like a lot of other people my age, are caught in this weird space and time where, like, we aren't kids and we aren't really adults, and we're still trying to determine our place in the world and set the trajectory of the course we want our lives to take. And I think this age, like early 20s, mid 20s, is like the time when we realize what nostalgia really is. I think this is when it, it's had enough time in life to, like, kick in. I keep hearing, like, friends and family that are my age and, like, people online that are my age talking about what life used to feel like and some of the core memories that we all share. When we could, avoid the responsibility of adulthood and could enjoy each day with worrying about the shit that we worry about now. One of the things that I miss the most about being a kid, and not even a kid, but like up until I graduated high school too, is just how raw and fresh everything felt. I still remember my first time playing Minecraft. Everything was so much more basic than it is now, but back then it felt like super advanced. And I still remember the first time I played Black Ops 1 campaign. I think I got it for Christmas and I beat it like the same day. Like, I played it the whole day. I remember the first time playing zombies. I remember the first time playing Fortnite with Connor and a friend that we don't really talk to anymore. But aside from video games, though, like, I remember how big of a deal holidays and school vacations were. Now, holidays, for me at least, are just something that, like, break the bank or are hard to celebrate because of work. And vacations, again, for me at least, are really just, like, the time between jobs. And it's kind of just filled with, like, anxiety and no money coming in, so it doesn't even feel like a vacation. We all used to ask our parents for games for Christmas, but now we're asked for our credit card numbers when we go to buy the game ourselves. And even the things we would get for Christmas or our birthday, it would feel like such a big thing with so much excitement, and you would, like, wait for it for like probably like a month beforehand, But now we just buy ourselves stuff. And a lot of the time, like, it just gives you a quick dopamine hit, and the satisfaction lasts no more than a week if you're lucky. Things felt a lot more fresh back then than they do now, but I guess it makes sense, right? Like, as a kid, everything is new, and days are longer because of, like, relative to how long your lives are, or, like, your life was back then. But now, like, as adults, we're used to the world around us. We have routines, so we have our expectations. Less can surprise us, so it kind of only makes sense. Now, if you're paying attention to the gameplay in the background, I'm sure you've noticed that this is a replay of a Fortnite OG match. But even this remake of the original game doesn't feel as raw as it used to. We have new skins in the game now and new mechanics. Everyone's good at the game. Half the lobby isn't even real players. It's just not the same. And Fortnite as a whole isn't the same, but that's, like, a topic for a totally different day. As a kid, responsibilities were pretty much non-existent, but at this point in my life, and probably a lot of yours too, responsibility just kind of seems to be crashing down all around us. Now that I'm a few years into my 20s, I've had quite a few years where my life has revolved around trying to be as responsible as possible. Keyword trying. I've worked since I was 15, but back then work wasn't really as serious because I was still in high school and things were still fresh and not as repetitive as they are now. It seems like somewhere in my early 20s, maybe 21 or 22, responsibility and the feeling that I, like, had to make it to my goals and ideals, like, finally caught up to me. I don't get me wrong, I still do a good job at avoiding responsibility sometimes. I think it's the last remnant of like that young me trying to hold on and run away from like the task that needs to be done that day or that week. But as each week, month, and year passes, a little bit more of that part of me goes away, and I grow, and that's important. That's a good thing, you know. I hope people are able to relate to this video in some way. I think they will. That's why I'm making it. I know that there are people out there who work a soul-crushing job because it makes money. I've met people who are close to my age that go to college, and are a parent too. I've met people who have had to give up massive parts of their lives and their wants for their responsibilities. And it makes me grateful that I still have something that makes me have some kind of connection to that nostalgia. That being like, you know, making these videos, playing video games. Don't get me wrong, I still have a full-time job. I have a relationship. I have bills, even though I do still live at home with my parents. I do have responsibilities, but living at home makes things a lot easier than if I was out on my own, obviously. That being said, I am working towards and feeling the pressure of eventually buying a house, moving out, you know, getting a career, which with the way things are going in the world, you know, for the house part, seems kind of impossible, at least in the United States. I also still find the time, you know, to play video games and enjoy my hobbies, like how we do on this channel. And although I still have goals and aspirations like any adult should have, I'm still able to pursue those goals in the way I want to. You know, I work a job that isn't exactly where I want to be necessarily, but it isn't something that I'm miserable doing each day. And I have this YouTube channel that I do, you know, as a hobby, hoping to make it a career. We're pushing 10,000 subs, so let's keep it going, you know? I love to see it. But yeah, I still have some sort of connection to that part of me that was a kid. We can't, you know, always be kids forever. And now that we've grown up, everything just feels different, but that's okay. Embracing the responsibilities that come with growing up is definitely a hard thing, but it's necessary and it's good for us. And once we are well into that next step of life, it will feel comfortable. At least that I like to think so. We'll be more in control of things than we were when we were teenagers or kids. We'll have a stronger sense of identity and more experiences, more opportunities, and more things to be involved in. As I spend more time thinking about the past, the nostalgia, both in real life and through video games, it does get me down a bit that those times I had and those memories are only getting further away in time. I'm not getting any closer to them. And I'm sure a lot of you feel that way too, at least I hope so. But with those feelings of grief for the past also comes hope for the future. And I hope you all feel that too. My personal goal for the future is to get married to my girlfriend and start a family, work a job while also working on this channel to hopefully make this a career. And then, you know, once I've saved up enough money, buy a piece of land that I can start a farm on and live off of. And make that a business. And after that, I want to live a fucking easy life, but labor-filled, obviously, because farming, and die at an old age with a happy family. That's all I want, man. But, of course, your goals are going to look very different from that, but that's still got to be your source of hope for the future, you know, your personal goals. That's got to be your source of motivation and your reason to keep going. But anyway, to sum things up, I think that people our age, that being our 20s, early 20s, maybe even late 20s, honestly, even maybe earlier, you know, 17, 18, 19, are dealing with not being kids anymore and having to grow up. But that's not exactly a bad thing. We get to experience a new part of life, and it will be stressful and it will be hard, but it will be more rewarding, I think. We'll just have more to do. We have more power when it comes to achieving our goals. As kids, we're dependent on our parents, and today a lot of us still are. I know personally, in the U.S., this is a complete fucking tangent, by the way, but in the U.S., the housing market is shit right now. And people my age feel like they'll never be able to buy a house. But besides the negative shit, though, I want the message of this video to be that even though the past is gone and that easy life of being an irresponsible kid is gone, there is still a future where a better life and an easier life can be built. But getting there won't be easy. It will take struggle, it will take toil, and it will demand just about everything from you. But we can still grow up and let our inner child stay alive. We can immerse ourselves in a hobby or nostalgia or work or whatever it is that we enjoy to make new memories and maybe meet new people and maybe get a sense of that childlike wonder back. But the important thing is that we never give up on the future. If you are, 17, 18, 19, or even younger and you're watching this video, enjoy these years while you have them, because they're not coming back. And, you can be irresponsible at your age, And if you're my age, I pretty much just spoke to you. If you're older than me, just know you still got time too. Like, even if you're feeling the same thing, like, there's no rush. There's no rush to do anything, live however you want, whatever. But anyway, enough of my bullshit rambling. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, a comment. Yes, I read them all, so definitely leave a comment and subscribe. It will help the channel out a lot. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble. I will see you in the next video.